quick little fast forward here. We've been tearing down the motor, cleaning it, putting it back together, pressure washing it, degreasing it, doing it multiple steps, taking the wire brush to it, taking a bunch of brake cleaner to it. This is kind of where we're at right now. I got the block pretty clean. I got majority of everything laid out on the table. As you can see here, I've got everything pretty much ready to tape up and start painting the block. This is the Chevy red that we are going to do. I do have the valve covers fully cleaned up and painted. There's already a couple coats on there. I might throw a coat of clear on there just to shine them up a little bit, but as you can see, they're nice and clean, and they're gonna look fresh on that clean red block with them aluminum heads. All right, so I got the heads all taped up. The block is cleaned, everything's good to go. Got the sensors and stuff back here taped up. Just gonna be a real light spray through here. I'm not gonna get too heavy with it. It's not important, it's on the back, but I am gonna cover it. The sides is our main focus, and the whole front area is our main focus. So just wanted, if we're gonna go through all this work, we want it to be pretty, we want it to look nice and be a nice upgrade. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw some paint on there. Alright, there it is. The block is painted. Timing cover's painted. The couple little valleys up here in the top are painted. The top little section around the back. But the main part is the side of the block. It's all painted and pretty and clean and looking brand new. Might be a little crevice here and there that's not the cleanest. Like there's a couple right in there. They're just built up and gummed up, but hey, she's gonna look good.
And the tool, I didn't bring my tool.
And the 350 is out.
Is this for the video?
Yeah, it's for the video. Good job, Dad.
You're welcome.
Good job, Supervisor Jeremy.
I did all the hard work.
There, I don't celebrate. Happy water.
All right, everybody, what is going on? So, quick little update. Motors in, flex plate adapter in, torque converter bolted up, manifolds are in. There was a snapped off bolt in the driver's side all the way back rear bolt. We tried to do the extractor kit a couple times, snapped off in there, so we welded on multiple nuts that kept snapping off. Eventually we got it extracted out, thank God. So all the manifold mounts are on. We did go buy one brand new bolt. I just want to make sure we're doing everything right and to 100%. We're not going to just leave a broken off bolt in there, even though the motor was already in. It's kind of was a pain in the ass, but luckily we got it done. You can see our lovely mess of tools and bolts and yada yada yada. Here's the harness, here's the old starter, here's the computer, fuse box, everything, the old flywheel, here's the old motor. Chevy 350. But the crown jewel here, the LS is in. I have the alternator on. Temporarily, I put this stock intake tube on. I know it's ridiculous and it's twisted up, but it's a lot harder to get dirt and stuff in there versus just having an open throttle body just sitting there. But as you can see, it is in, manifolds are in, everything is in. Radiator hoses are hooked up. Show you over here. We do still need to kind of redo the shock tower, the engine cage a little bit. We need to clamp on the reservoirs. Obviously we need to mount the fuse box and computer and get all this thing wired up, get the whole harness clipped in. But we do have other projects with deadlines, and we need to get this thing moved to the other side of the yard. All the bulk of the work is done. Obviously we have to do some tubing work. We're gonna pull it back over here for that. In the meantime, I think we can throw it over there in the yard, and we can start clipping in harnesses and connect the fuel line and all the little things, bolt a starter in. We can kind of do that stuff sitting out there. We can maybe get it to fire up and maybe pull it back over here and finish the engine cage. It is definitely sticking above the hood quite a bit, so we're probably gonna just cut a big hole around it, try to do a nice clean hole and kind of make it like a shaker. Just the hood sticking out. It's quite a bit. Obviously the intake's a little ridiculous, so just ignore that. But we do have a new starter coming. We do have nice AC Delco red coil wires, spark plug wires. New spark plugs are in there. I do have a full oil change for it. We need to put in there. Right now I still have the filter and drain plug out, so it can just sit there and keep dripping if there's anything left. I don't think it is, but for the meantime it is in. We did make motor mounts. See if I can get the camera in here. Maybe over here. So we did make some pretty trick motor mounts. They are going to be on our website. There you go. That's a good look at them. It is a red poly bushing, 1/2-inch bolt. Everything bolts up to the block like normal, and it has these 2 universal tabs. We probably hacked them in half, but they're pretty long, so they're universal for whatever you're LS swapping. So these are going to be going on the website, I think around 425 bucks plus shipping. They will be fully fabricated, fully welded up and painted black, except for those tabs will come raw. So, but we will get those added on the website probably before this video goes live. We're gonna make another set that we can get nice pictures of. These, we kind of made them quickly and got them in there. But yeah, so I got the Duramax and the trailer over here right now. I'm gonna go ahead and start winching it up, and we're gonna get it on the other side of the yard. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We got the wire harness, everything in the Bronco. We loaded it on the trailer late last night and we towed it out, and my buddy George helped us fine-tune the tune, kind of delete the anti-theft and delete the vats and stuff like that, the tranny. We are running the 350 manual body 350 trans, so it's not running the 4L60E or any of the newer style electronic trans. So she is now officially finally running. So we're gonna unload it off the trailer. We still gotta modify the gas pedal, mount it. We gotta do just a couple little things, run the alternator wire, replacing a new radiator in the back. My dad's gonna do that when he gets it home, but we're gonna give you guys a cold start here and show you. We're gonna unload it real quickly and get it into the shop, and we're gonna have to rebuild the full exhaust and add a couple engine bars and cut up the hood and make the hood fit again. So we're on the final stretch, so we're gonna go ahead and get it unloaded, let you guys hear it. It's pretty loud, just open manifolds right now.
Rhythm.
All right, so right now we're just on this key. Let's see here, turn the key on, fuel pump goes. right, so quick little update. We worked on the truck all day, all night. We have a full, complete new exhaust system on it. We have the wiring pretty much buttoned up, cleaned up. Couple little things left. Everything is tucked up under the dash. There's a lot of wires to it, but it's definitely gonna run and operate better. These couple wires coiled up are still our cooling fans. That's probably the last thing we gotta do. We have our O2 sensors in properly, finally. I gotta zip tie that up a little bit, but we do have our new fuse block over there, and the black box on the side is the engine management fuse block. But the one on the front of the firewall is kind of the accessory one that we added ourselves. So we have the ignition on a fuse, and we have the alternator thing on a fuse. We haven't yet ran it and tested it to see if it would work properly. Everything seems to work. The alternator wire, our fuse did pop, but we're gonna test it here in a second. But a lot of the wires are gone, everything's gone. We got a giant hole, obviously we gotta button up. We do have the original tunnel, just gotta kind of put it in place, tack it up. But here, you see I cut and modified the gas pedal to shorten it to kind of fit in here. It's a lot tighter than the Silverado, and this is a Silverado gas pedal, the electronic gas pedal for the throttle body. So we did cut it, shorten it, welded it up to the cage here, and it's screwed into the firewall on the bottom. It's nice and solid, works great. We do have our OBD2 port up here with our check engine light. We have the new ignition in there. So let me get under here and show you guys the exhaust. All right, see here. So from the passenger side manifold, came down, there's our O2 sensor, bend over, bend up, there's a little Y pipe, and then up into the other manifold, the other O2 sensor. So then it goes into the Y pipe, straight into a cherry bomb. And then on the back here, just have a little turn down. So, oh, and we got the little exhaust hanger. Don't mind the welds on there. My dad did those. But yeah, so there's the exhaust, nice, tucked, cleaned. Brake lines pulled up out of the way, and they're wrapped in a heat shield. So everything should work good. We haven't heard it yet. We're gonna do the first cold start with the exhaust right now. Go ahead, whenever. First cold start. First time with the exhaust. First time with the O2 sensors. Sounds really good. Alright, much better. There's a little plastic guard on the side of the flywheel. The bolt wasn't loose. I never tightened it because I wasn't sure if we were leaving that in there. Now it's good to go. Sounds good. Next thing we got to do, a couple little engine gauge bars. We're going to put the hood on. We're going to cut a massive hole in the middle. And I think that's about it. Everything seems good. Alright, so I threw this bar in here real quick. The first shock hoop angles down a little bit, hugs the engine up and around, back down, then back up a little bit. We did get the hood back on. The hood is all trimmed out. Let me jump down, shut the hood, and we'll show you guys how clean this turned out. Our holes are a little bit big, but we're gonna put a little more time into it, clean it up. All right, here you go. So everything pokes out a little bit. Hoop is through, the engine's through, alternator just barely comes out, intake barely comes out. I did lower the engine as far as we possibly could with all the steering and everything that's in there. The oil pan comes extremely close to the links, but everything clears. Everything seems good to go. So at least we got a hood on. We thought we were gonna cut a lot more than that, so this actually works out really well. We just modified the vacuum for the brake booster to the back of the intake manifold. So we gotta start it up, make sure we have actual brake pressure, and then I think we're about good to go. Alright, so one last thing I wanted to show you guys. So on the side of the water pump here, we don't have the heater core. Obviously this is a fully gutted down Bronco 2. So normally you would buy the little heater core bypass loop. It's a little rubber U. I could show you on the workbench. What we don't have a front radiator, and we don't have a Chevy style radiator. He has an old school 2 or triple row, like just a big massive like old truck radiator mounted in the back, and he's got a new aluminum one with fans and built-in aluminum fan shroud and all that in the mail, so he's going to change that out. But the LS requires a coolant feed line that's wide on the top of the heads. Show you guys right here. It is these little coolant lines right here. It's a hard line. On this one it wides and it goes over to the driver's side. On the newer models it wides on this side, so this black hose runs over to that side. I'm honestly, I don't even know if I'm able to get this on camera. there's just too much stuff in the way, but it is down in there. Well, anyway, so we don't have the little tap port on the radiator. So what I did was, this is a Duramax 6.6 fuel line fuel filter bypass loop. It's an aluminum loop. Then I ordered a aluminum radiator nipple, and I TIG welded it on one of the posts there. I drilled it, I put it in there, and I TIG welded it all together. And then I ran the drill bit inside here, the open side, and I drilled it through to get all the access that was poking inside, as well as I put a drill bit that was the size of this opening through this way, just to knock off any extra burrs or any bleed through from my welds. There was a couple spots where it did bleed through just a little bit. I didn't want to slow down any coolant flow. So basically I welded that nipple on there, and now I'm going to be able to shove this rubber hose on there, and that's going to feed coolant into the top front corners of the heads. I wasn't sure if you were able to cap that off or not. Every vehicle that I know of, Chevy LS's all have it. The Lexus has an LS swap, and the water pump was drilled and tapped to add that same hose. So it was added there, so I'm assuming it's pretty important. So we added it here. I didn't want to drill and tap the water pump because down future, if my dad ever has to swap the water pump for whatever reason, I don't want him to have to drill and tap each and every one, and I didn't want there to be any question about warranties or anything with that. So this is a separate piece that I can build on the side that will always be there for him. He'll be able to unbolt, swap out water pumps, everything completely as is before, and it's not going to affect anything. So this is completely separate. It's got its own nice little loop. It's good to go. So I'm going to put that little hose on, and I'm going to pop the radiator cap, and I'm going to top it off. And then I think we are loading this thing on the trailer, and we're heading back to Payson first thing in the morning. I think we got everything else done. We did have the tuner. He stopped by. We drove out to his house. We did the first initial tune so we could start it, move it around, and then he came out here once we finished buttoning all the little things up, getting those 2 sensors on, this and that, and he deleted anything trans related, anything emissions related, anything that this truck, it's got the manual body transmission, it's not the electric 4L60, 4L80E like the harness thinks it is. So all that's deleted, the VATs are deleted, so it's running good. That's it. So we're just buttoning up the last couple things.
Say cheese.
Say bye-bye.
No kisses.
Mwah.
Go kiss the Dutch.
Bye,
Go
baby.
Kiss Daddy.
Ready, dude?
There you go.
Oh, blowing a kiss. Mwah.
Ooh,
Love you, honey. Alright guys, we are off to Payson, taking the Bronco home. Loaded on the trailer, strapped up. We're good to go. So, we're gonna go take it up there, unload it, and then I'm actually picking up a 64 International that we're gonna do a nice quick little restoration on. So I'll probably make another video on that, getting that truck to run as well. So that's gonna be coming up too. It's pretty cool. It's old school, 4-wheel drive, real nice patina paint. It's in really good condition. So we'll have some videos on that. But we're gonna get on the road, saying goodbye to everybody, taking the boy. You ready?
Hi.
All right, bye girls.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye. Love you.
Here we go. All right, here we are. We made it to Payson. We're about to unload it. Here we are. Go ahead. up that fender over there. Tight squeeze with my trailer on the way.